Hi, I'm Laura. I'm a sport information specialist. I'm just going to give a little bit of an overview about fatigue because we know it's a very common side effect from cancer treatment. The degree to which it affects people differs from person to person. Some people it might just last a couple of months after treatment, and sometimes in rare cases it can last up to a couple of years. You may find that simple tasks that you're able to do easily beforehand, you really struggle to do. You may find it difficult to remember things. You may find it difficult to stay engaged in conversations, and all of this can affect your mental health as well. So if you find yourself getting in a pattern where you're feeling increasingly more fatigued, this can commonly be known as the boom and bust cycle. So the boom and bust cycle is when you have a day where you're feeling like you have more energy and it's tempting to pack and overfill your day with lots of things that you haven't been able to achieve previously. This leads to increased fatigue, periods of longer rest and more inability to do things. And if you set goals and you're unable to achieve them, again, this can all significantly impact the way you feel. So to avoid this cycle of boom and bust, there are a few things you can look to do. We recommend doing the fatigue diary. So if you look at your week ahead and then write down each task that you have to do, and once you undertake that task, if you write down how fatigued you felt afterwards, over the next few weeks, you can plan ahead, make sure you factor in rest periods, see what tasks you can delegate to other people to help, and make sure there's no back-to-back high-energy tasks. But it's also important to remember that physical activity is a really important part of helping you to recover from fatigue. So even if it's a gentle stroll around the park, that will help not only build up your muscle strength, but also increase your mental positivity as well. It can be quite daunting to think about preparing large meals all at once. So another tip is perhaps preparing your vegetables in the morning, using aids to help you do so, perhaps having a stool in the kitchen, then having a rest period, and then going back to it later on to finish it off. It's also another good idea to cook large quantities at once, and then you can freeze portions so that on a day that you're feeling particularly fatigued, you've got a healthy, nutritious meal ready to go. It's also really important to factor in good quality sleep. Having a routine in place can really help. So avoid stimulants like caffeine, perhaps having a warm shower but not too hot or not too cold, making sure your bedroom's a nice even temperature again, not too hot or too cold, and try going to bed at the same time each evening and waking up at the same time in the morning. A useful way to summarise is the 4 Ps. So prioritising what tasks absolutely must have to be done. Planning ahead, making sure there's not too many back-to-back high-energy activities. Pacing yourself, make sure you're not doing too much in one day, avoiding that boom and bust cycle. And permission, make sure you're kind to yourself. You've got an awful lot going on at the moment, and if there's a day that you don't achieve everything that you set out to, it's okay. If you find that you're still struggling, ring Macmillan, hop into your local Macmillan Support and Information Service, or speak to your physiotherapist or occupational therapist, or go to your GP.